Are you scared that your website's going to be affected by the Google's helpful content update because you're using AI writers to help you write your content? We need to pay close attention to our websites and its content. Hey, it's Troy from AI Copywriting Creators channel, where we provide you with the most updated knowledge in regards to AI copywriting software and how to use it for your website. So if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, we hope you do so. And if this video provides you any value, please help us out a little by smashing that thumbs up button. So today, we're going to talk about what this Google update's all about, how to use AI writers and prevent your website from being affected by the Google update, and how to get things back on track in case you're affected by the update. So without further ado, let's get into it. So let's start off with who might be impacted by this update. If you create educational materials, entertainment, product reviews, and tech-related content, you might find your site impacted by this Google update. But first, let's talk about who shouldn't be worried about the update. Assuming you've done everything right, which means you've created content that meets a search intent, and you've structured your entire site in a way that serves a specific group of people, then you should be doing well. For example, if your blog is about your pet Bernese mountain dog, and you write a lot of articles that are used for people seeking information about these dogs. Or another example, let's say you have a website about programming languages, and it serves your audience's needs and teaches them steps to take to program. Even if you use help with the AI writers, then you won't be at risk, assuming that you're doing things the right way, and we'll cover that here in a bit. At first, it appears that the entire Google update revolves around punishing people who use AI writers, and there's a huge debate going on about it. Looking through the Google page, there are sentences in there that I understand can lead to this confusion. For example, part of a broader effort to ensure people see more original, helpful content written by people for people in search results. Or, if you scroll down a bit, are you using extensive automation to produce content on many topics? Or are you mainly summarizing what others have said without adding much value? This is something that AI writers commonly do. And finally, does your content promise to answer a question that actually has no answer, such as suggesting that there's a release date for a product, movie, or TV show when it isn't actually confirmed? Most AI content writers typically speed up writing bad content like these examples, and all these questions sound like Google is targeting site owners who are using AI content writers. I don't believe this is the case though. Why? Because if you're an expert in your topic and you're using AI writers to assist you with writing, you're fact-checking, you're editing the output from the AI writer, you're adding your knowledge and expertise in the contents, and overall you're answering the question which is serving the search intent well, then there's no issue with using AI writers at all. In fact, publishing content without proper research or fact-checking is the problem whenever you heavily rely on AI writers. You may have received some success using AI writers in this way in the past, but Google is most likely coming after your site soon if it hasn't hit you already. This is basically the summary and all the things mentioned in this update, and they're all things that Google has said many times before. Now, what if you're impacted by this update? Well, there are steps you can do to fix it and get back on track, and we'll discuss those here in a bit. But let's find out further how you can tell if you have a high chance of being impacted by this update. The update simply states it wants people to write helpful and original content with a focus on people first, which means it's written for people to understand and be helpful for them before it's written for search engines. Google is basically giving you information on how to rank your website, and they even provide steps to follow in their More Guidance on Building High Quality Sites page. This article is advice from Google to provide the best possible user experience on your website and not focus so much on the search engine algorithms. Now, if you're using an AI writer and want to know if your site's going to have the chance of getting hit by the Google update, you need to go through the series of questions listed on the update page. These highlighted questions are the ones you want to pay most attention to, as they are the ones of most importance. Does your content clearly demonstrate first-hand expertise and a depth of knowledge? Will someone reading your content leave feeling like they've had satisfying experience? Since there's so much content on the internet, Google doesn't want to rank content written by someone who doesn't know what they're talking about. That's the overall general basis for this Google helpful content update. So now, the lasting question is, can I still use AI to write content for my site? The answer is yes, if you are not using the AI content as a final copy and you edit your final content. You are fact-checking all the output from the AI. You're making sure that the content sounds like something a human would say, and you answer the questions the reader came to your page to begin with. As long as you're following these rules, then yes, AI writers will be a great tool to use to help you write the content. In fact, they may even help you write better content than you normally would, especially if you're somebody like me who usually takes forever to write a great piece of content. So now, what if you were hit by the Google update? I told you that if you were hit, there are steps you can take to get it fixed and get back on track. We need to identify first what constitutes unhelpful content. To do this, you can use the Google Search Console. Google's not going to tell you what content they deemed unhelpful, but using the tools they provide, we can search and find the content that they don't like. What we'll need to do is log into the Google Search Console and click the Performance tab. Next, click and filter by the last 6 months. Then, click the Pages tab. This way you can see the list of pages Google has information about on your website. Now, scroll all the way down and click Rows per Page. I set it all the way up to 500. This way you can get a clear picture of what all your pages are and their performance. Finally, we'll scroll up here and we'll sort by clicks ascending. This will give us a list of least amount of clicks listed first. Now here's where you want to go search through, and if you see less than 10 to 60 clicks over a 6-month period and they have low search impressions, you may want to consider removing these articles as they're hurting your site. However, if you see low to no clicks but do see high impressions, then this is something that you will want to look into fixing the content to get better rankings. For example, you see this first one has 0 clicks but has 1,400 plus impressions. So this is something I'm going to want to look into correcting or making better so that Google ranks it better. Now if you scroll down, you can see this one here has no clicks and very few impressions. This is probably something I'm going to want to delete so that it does not affect my site. Once you're able to identify pages that are unhelpful, you'll want to make sure you create a 410 content deleted redirect telling Google that this content has been deleted. This can be achieved in a number of ways, typically through a WordPress plugin. Now, after you make the needed changes to your content, deleting pages or improving content, it may take a few months before your content gets indexed and ranking well again in Google. As a note, to make searching for content that Google may have hit, you can also use the Rank Math Pro plugin. Using this plugin, you can simply connect to your Google Search Console and search like we did through the Search Console. To do this, you come under the SEO Performance, and then you can scroll down under the Content section, sort by clicks. As you can see, this article here only has 1 impression and has no clicks and is on the 37th position of Google. So this is something we'll probably want to delete and make a redirect for. If you're interested in the Rank Math Pro plugin, you can find the link in the description. Also, if you're interested in seeing how to properly use AI to assist you in your writing and prevent your site from having issues with Google updates, let me know in the comments below. Also, look in the link description for a comparison chart containing a list of different AI softwares that provide a free account to get started with your AI writing. And for an overview of how to write an article using AI, check out the video in the top of your screen where we walk you through using AI writing software to write a full article. I hope you found this video very helpful, and if so, I encourage you to hit that like button, subscribe, and stay tuned for more great videos.